Hey guys, Brian with VetteSource here, checking in today on a, what is today, Wednesday afternoon? Yeah, gonna bring you back a little more detail on our wreck of a rear frame section from a 69 Corvette big block. Now if you looked at my previous video where I actually identified what this hunk of sheet metal or steel was, this sad looking thing, you'll notice I described that Corvettes do actually have steel components. They're made out of steel, the foundations of them. So not everything is fiberglass on these cars. So today what I'm going to do real quick is talk a little bit more about what I'd mentioned about 427s, okay? So if you follow Corvettes and muscle cars in particular, you're going to know or be familiar with the fact that, you know, big block stuff of that era, Mopar, Ford, General Motors, even AMC to a certain degree, is a big business, and they're expensive cars. They've really outstripped demand and desirability from where when I was growing up as a teenager they were just another car. You could pick one up for still less than $5,000. So now it's such a big business that people will clone and fake these multiple times over, you know, even to the point of faking paperwork, creating options on the cars that weren't there in original. So it's one of those things that if you're going to buy something like this, you really want to be quite educated about it. So with Corvettes, in particular Corvettes, because Corvettes, big block cars in and of themselves were a very small percentage of the total production of cars over the years. So what you want to make sure of is that you're not buying a car that's been cloned. So with that being said, the easiest way, I'm going to tell you the first thing in 5 seconds you can do to tell, or to be able to maybe tell, that a Corvette is a real big block is let's see if I can get a better view here. All you gotta do is peek your head underneath it and look right there at those caps on the U-joint. Now, you may be asking, what the heck are you talking about? What's so special? Those are big block only caps to hold the drive shafts in place. Obviously the big blocks had a higher torque rating on them, so what they did was they put, instead of straps on the joints, they put these caps on them. Now these caps can be changed out easily, okay, but this is your first indication that what you're looking at is actually a big block car, okay? You can see that's a much more robust unit with a little bit bigger of a bolt installed in it, and it actually has a thread-in yoke on the side of the case, versus this one is a small block, and you can just see that's a through carrier for the strap that covers the U-joints, kind of like what you see in the front here. So this is your biggest indicator. Oftentimes this gets overlooked, right? From when guys are doing clones or reproductions. Now there's another thing about this though. Just because this doesn't have the heavy duty caps doesn't mean it was not originally a big block car from the factory. The one thing that would happen with these is, even though General Motors did their best to try to make these stronger, you still had instances where guys would blow up the differentials. I mean, we're all guys, you know, we're driving, girls taking our cars out and dumping the clutch or whatever, and drive line failure. So what they would do is, when they go into the shops weren't so picky about replacing that differential. They would just throw a small block differential in there, because the small block differential will fit in there just as well as a big block. So I've seen cars that are big block cars documented that have a small block diff in them. One other thing to consider is that the heavy duty big block differentials also have different coding on the bottom as far as their suffix codes, you know, gear ratio, from that perspective. Now this, like you were seeing, this is another big block differential that I pulled out here. This is a 355 gear ratio from the factory. Back then you could actually get all the way up to a 456 geared rear differential, no kidding. And if you know about gear sets, you'll know that's just insane for the street. And nowadays you'll never see a car, unless it's a 1-ton truck, come with that kind of gear setup. So imagining a muscle car coming with a 456 from the factory is pretty crazy. Now, if you're looking under the car, I'll give you another hint here. and you don't see those straps, what you're going to want to look for, and it's another thing that they overlook, is if you see this bracket on the back of this trailing arm, okay, that bracket is for a sway bar, okay, and at least for 68, 69, I think 70, any car, any Corvette that had a rear sway bar like this was a big block car, okay? These did not come on small block cars. Now, I'm almost certain that in 71, I think, is when the LT1 would come with a rear sway bar. And what you're going to find is that eyelet right there hooks up to this bracket here on the back of this trailing arm, and it bolts in. I want to say this one's so corroded it's hard to see where it was, but it's right back in here somewhere. Yeah, it was right there. So that's where that is. That's another thing to look for. The sway bar may be missing, but oftentimes they don't get rid of those brackets. And even if they got rid of the brackets, these trailing arms specifically off these, no, I take that back. I think all the trailing arms were pre-tapped for this bracket. But if that bracket is there, or even if the sway bar is missing, you possibly got yourself a clue that that might be a big block car. So it's definitely something to look at, especially if you're chasing them down, trying to find them. So, you know, just some interesting things about these old Corvettes. That's, you know, fun, knowledge-based, and, you know, again, not everybody's going to be looking for that. And for some people, it's not a big deal if you've even got a clone. You know, a clone sometimes is a better car to go drive around, because you're not worried about destroying the value of a clone versus destroying the value of a real big block car, when in the case of Corvettes, you know, some of the big block cars are definitely in the six figures as far as valuation's concerned, and you're talking big money. So, you know, tomorrow what I'm going to do is, this is the second video I made on this, like I said earlier, talking about identifying this as a Corvette rear frame section. Tomorrow what I'm going to do is go ahead and tear this thing down and harvest the good pieces left on it. And yeah, it actually does have some good stuff left. The differential mainly, the half shafts, the drive shaft, maybe one or two other little things, brake calipers or cores or 69s. But you know, the rest of this I'm just going to scrap. So what we'll do tomorrow is I'll go ahead and take the Sawzall after this thing and cut it apart. So if you're already subscribed, you'll get the notification on that. If you want to see me tear down the rest of this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you can see, you'll get the notification when I post that video of what I'm doing here to tear this thing apart. So appreciate you guys hanging out to the end if you did so. And if you got anything you want to add to the discussion, you can just reach me in the comments section below, and I will check back with you guys tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Thanks.